Thank you, gentlemen, Pete and Nick. We move competitions today. Are you waving, or do you want to ask a question? We changed competitions to the LV today. Peter, your views on the fact that we're 1-3, lost 3 in the first half of the Premiership, obviously without the World Cup lads. Fair injury situation, reasonably happy 3-3?
I think it's really important that we stayed unbeaten at home, and that was a big positive. I think we're all a bit disappointed that probably we all feel we could have got 2 away wins. I think the Northampton game, leading right up to the end, feel that was sort of 3 points lost, and a little bit sort of last weekend. We still feel we could have done better, and all credit to Sale on the day. They were very good, very organised, and put us under pressure for their defence. But we still feel we could have come away with a win.
Do you feel that, from my point of view in the stand last week, it looked as though you, the forwards, were on top? Do you feel in any way that you wasted that advantage?
We felt we were on top as well, I think, up front, but you've got to take it. You've got to sort of be going well up front, and then hopefully the backs will take the opportunities and what have you. And it's one of those sort of old adages: the forwards will make sure you win the game, but it's sort of the backs by how much. And you've got to play with sort of balance and what have you. Otherwise, it becomes too predictable. And I think we did that a little bit last weekend. The weekend before against London Irish. We just got to get that balance right, and hopefully you'll see that again today. But last week maybe we went a little bit over the top, trying to sort of pound them a little bit. We might have been able to play with a bit more width and taking a few opportunities that way.
And Nick, the other thing I noticed from the stand was that you were giving lessons to the referee on scrimmaging technique. Did it work at all?
I was just asking him a question, that was it. No lessons. There's no telling him what to do, otherwise it just ends up backfiring.
I see you asked him a question towards after the match as well. I thought that was possibly due to the scrum, a couple of 3 minutes from the end when they went up and the penalty was against you. Couldn't understand that at all, and I'm sure you didn't either.
Of course, I question his decision in the politest way. I thought it was actually the touch judge who called it, but to be fair to him, to the referee, when we looked at the footage after the game the next day, it's our hooker that pops up first, even though we're going forward, and for someone who's not 100% sure what he's doing in that area, it's an easy decision for him to make, so we have to look at that scrum and obviously work on when we're going forward, try to stay down even when the opposition is trying to stand up.
I know you don't want to say too much. As always, of course, and you lads must be getting fed up with it, local media and the various websites and that talk about all the problems that Gloucester have winning away. I was amused to read in the newspaper this week that there was a quote that the team were locked in the depths of the bowels of Edgeley Park for an hour after the match, trying to sort out their away problems. Did that happen, and did you sort them out, Pete?
I think we were stuck waiting for the hot water to come up more than anything. But we had a chat for about sort of 10-15 minutes after the game. I think it wasn't more to do with the away, the away or the home factor. I think it was more to do that we had real opportunities to put them under pressure. And we, for our own fault, didn't take those. I think we had opportunities to really go after and put them in their 22, and we decided to play a lot within our our half, and that ultimately ended up us either making a mistake or getting turned over. And it's just to try and get, like I said, talk about getting that balance to make sure we play in the right areas. And I think it is a bit more of a problem when you're away from home, because you get things like referee decisions and 50-50 sort of go against you. I think the great example you just said is we had dominant scrum a lot of the game, and we didn't really get our reward for it. But if the referee's not giving you that, you've got to find other ways to gain field position and put them under pressure. And that was what we were speaking about a little bit after the game, because it was disappointing to talk about that sort of all week and then not get that into the game. But yeah, I mean, it becomes a bit more prevalent away, but it's still a sort of home and away thing. We need to get a bit mature in that respect and just get us in the right places at the right times, and then we are confident within the team. We've got a good balance and a good ability to score once we're in a sort of 22 area.
Well, I started off by saying that we changed competition. So Nick, we're into the LV Cup today. We are the holders. We've been to the final 3 times. Will this season be any different? Will we still be looking to lift that trophy even though we've now got the added pressure of the Heineken Cup?
I think we go into every competition we're in looking to win it. And that's the only way to go into it, otherwise you end up falling short badly and you end up losing home games where you shouldn't. And you need to go into it with the mindset that yes, we are defending champions, so we're also in it to win it. We're in it to win the Heineken Cup and we're in it to win the Premiership. And that's our mentality throughout.
And long may that last. When the teams were announced yesterday, I think a few people slightly surprised to see Johnny May at fullback. Has he played there before, or have you been working on him this week to see that he can play there?
I'm not sure if he's played there before or not, but I think he's got all the attributes to play there. And what a great opportunity at the stage to find out if he can play there. And I think the amount of extra space and time we'll have at fullback with his ability as an athlete, I think he could produce something special today. So are you both expecting 5 points today, or are we just going to think that a win to start with and we'll work from there? That's exactly it. I'm not going into the game thinking 5 points. We're going into the game thinking need to win, need to right the wrongs from last week. And at the same time, the LB is a funny thing. You need to just concentrate on winning your own games. Bonus points, yes, if you can, but it's such a funny system that it depends on results from other pools. If you don't play any team in your pool, do you? So it's a strange one as to whether you could end up. As happened 2 years ago, we ended up going through having one out of the 3 pool games. Got to the final, so yeah, I think a lot of people see that we play Leicester next week, so they'll be supporting Scarlets against Leicester, but we really need Leicester to beat Scarlets. Would that be right, Pete?
Yeah, I think a little bit like Woody said. Our success from last season was a lot to do with we managed to get on a run. 13 games, 14 games, and these 2 games are quite important to get the boys who've been away integrated into the squad. There's also a massive opportunity to build momentum as we go back into the Premiership and to Heineken Cup. If we can, hopefully get a good result today, go away to Leicester, get a win there, and then we start the ball rolling. We're hoping for Saracens after that, and then we can go into sort of Exeter in Europe and a bit of confidence, and winning just becomes a habit then. And if we can get that earlier rather later in the season than we did last year, hopefully that'll creeping up the table in all competitions.
Well, everyone here, of course, wishes you well in all 3 competitions, and we're all looking forward to the match in Toulouse that starts off the Heineken Cup. Just to finish, can I allude slightly to the World Cup? We saw Wales just pipped by France this morning. Did you see the sending off, and as players, was it fair?
It's a tough one, because the laws have changed a few years ago. If you're going to tackle someone, as the tackler, you have a responsibility to make sure the tackle is legal and safe. And although it was a great hit, I think kind of halfway through he realised he was going to end up spearing it, and he kind of let go so he didn't fall on his head. I don't think it's a red card, but we've got the benefit of replays, and when the rest out there, you can only call what he sees. Having said that, 14 men on the pitch, I still think the Welsh were unlucky not to win it. They were the better team on the field, and the French almost once apart from a spur after half time, as soon as the red card had happened, they seemed to lose all ambition and were just quite happy to kick for the corners, kick a couple of penalties and close it out that way. So the Welsh kept fighting and nearly did enough to win it.
Pete, Warburton, the man sent off, back row forward like yourself, it almost seemed to me that he was in 2 minds, as Nick quite rightly says. He had to get rid of the player, but he also saw the opportunity to win the ball. which is what back row forwards do, get over the ball. Do you think he got just confused? There was obviously no malice in it, was there?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think if you look at the letter of the law, it's probably, the referee's got to think about sending him off, but I think it's one there where possibly the referee can use a little bit of nous and realise it's a World Cup semi-final, and there wasn't much malice in the tackle. I think it was just a well-timed, good shot, and like you say, he's put him down, but I think he's probably thinking about jacking the ball straight away after the hit, and that's why he's come down how he has. So, it had a massive bearing on the game, and it's very disappointing for Wales, really.
Well, we wish them luck in the third place playoff. Let's just finish then with the England performance or non-performance. Would I be cruel if I called them inept in this tournament, Nick? You've been around the squad, they must have disappointed you.
I think you can't be too harsh on the pool stage. They faced some tough teams. Scotland were never going to be an easy challenge. Scotland were almost, their downfall at the end was that they had to win by 8 or more points, and if they had to win by 1 or 2 they would have quite happily won that game, I think, and in the end having to chase the extra points at the pool stages gave England the opportunity to win that game. And it came to the Argentina game. You look how Argentina played against New Zealand for 70 minutes, and they're a really, really tough side to play against. They're really physical, you can hardly win your own ball, and they will fight for each other for 80 minutes. And it came to probably just a bit of bad luck for England. Since they met a French team that was inspired for 40 minutes and then didn't really do much for the second 40 minutes, but then England didn't quite do enough to win it in the second half.
And Pete, just to finish that subject, would you expect now to see a number of England players announcing their retirement from international rugby?
Well, you're asking me about retirement. No, yeah, exactly. I think that they've realistically got to make some changes now. I think there's a lot of sort of good young or players who've been around a little bit who definitely deserve a go at it. There's a few at Gloucester as well that I think should be looked at again. But possibly next year or two, I think they've got to come up with a plan or whatever with new players to integrate. Probably a slightly more ambitious way of playing rugby as well. I think it was disappointing. I think in the Six Nations they seem to go forward. They seem to have quite a lot of ambition. They seem to, be very competitive up front, and then also very dangerous behind with the back line. And we didn't really see that in the World Cup, and that's probably where the frustration lies. Some of the players, I think I can't remember a quote in some way saying, Vic's probably saying you never retire from international rugby, but I think definitely in a few positions there will be. I think they've got to move on and try and just try and find some fresh blood and some more impetus.
Well, these two lads minders have come back and they're going to whip them away to the boxes. You've got two of the finest Gloucester players here, regular first teamers. Anybody want to ask a question in the last minute? Yes, sir. Let's come on over and have a word into my microphone. Must be about rugby, nothing about what they do off the pitch.
Sorry, no, stop. Do you find that one of the problems we've got away is just the sheer size of Kingsholm's pitch? Because we've got more space to run in, and a lot of the other pitches in the Premiership are more narrower.
Who wants that?
You can ask Morgs about the narrowness of the sale from last weekend after he managed to cut his hand. There is a thing with the way in the home thing. Well, like I say, last year we got on a good run of sort of 13 games where we managed to win difficult places. We weren't at Northampton. We weren't at Wasps as well. And realistically, over these 6 weeks, we could have and probably should have won 2 games away as well. So there is a slight issue there, but I just think we've got to concentrate on the fact that how we play and what we do on the field, and not get carried away with the fact that it isn't away or at home or how big the pitch is or other sort of issues. I think we just got to concentrate on what we do when we get on the field and make sure that turns up.
Thanks very much for the question. I also thought the Sale pitch last week was particularly narrow. It seemed as though if you held everybody's hands, they would have gone right across the pitch. But, gentlemen, you've been fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Peter Buxton, Nick Wood. Thank you.